Hello world, I'm here in my daughter and son-in-law's home. What do I really think of Black Lives Matter? Let me go back into my Black life and then I can tell you what is the matter. I can remember when I was a little girl. That was many years ago. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, it didn't really matter about color at that time because of lack of understanding the difference and the separation that we had to live in. As I was growing up, I had white dolls that I played with. It didn't matter in particular if it was white or black. When I had both and I enjoyed them, I loved them. Not realizing that I am living and dealing as a little child in an unrealistic world. I still didn't realize the separation, the segregation, and the difference in my life compared to my white sisters and brothers' lives. I saw everything happy, full of love, not a negative, hateful perspective. There weren't any bills, no responsibilities as far as, major things in life that we have to contend with as we get older. My views in life was feed me when I'm hungry, clothe me when I needed to be clothed, and just let me be a child. There wasn't any animosity, there wasn't any understanding at that time that you are considered the lowest on the totem pole. I didn't have any concept of that at that time of my life. Not understanding the ethnic background, the culture, not understanding what happened way in the past and during slavery, not understanding the civil rights movements until as I got older and when I began to see, then there's a difference over here and a difference there, and then life becomes confusing. And then as life becomes confusing, it's hard to concentrate and love and to communicate, because here you have one side throwing inferiority to you, and then you have another side, that's saying, try to be somebody. I shouldn't have to try to be somebody because I am somebody. But it was normal in one aspect and it wasn't normal in another aspect because it was lacking someone very important in the household that helps build the structure of a family, help a family become strong and knitted and complete. And that was a lack of having a father in the household, which is very, very, very important. To have a father, someone to look up to, someone to make you feel safe and comfortable in your home and your surrounding, and brothers and sisters. I mean, we're lacking that so much in our families. And as I grew older, I began to understand that the lack of that really has caused a lot of our problems in our life. And as I got older and no father in the household, I began to see a little difference and I began to feel a little different, and I began to get emotional and I began to have a dilemma in my mind. And it's like I went to bed, I went to sleep, I woke up the next morning. I actually rubbed my eyes and I opened them wide. I looked around me and I looked at the world, and my God, it was a whole different world. A world from being 7 and 8 had turned into a nightmare. Yes, a nightmare. No father in the home. Poverty in the home. It was disarray. It was, how should I say it? I mean, without really breaking down on this, it was just horrible. Just let me put it as it is. I found out in my life, growing up and becoming a much more younger adult, that my God, this world is not the fantasy world that I portrayed it to be when I was much younger. Of a happy life and success and prosperity. I found out that there was limitations on prosperity for me. I found out that there were limitations on success for me. I found out that there were limitations, period, for me. You had blacks against whites, whites against blacks, blacks being so underprivileged, lacking, uneducated. Certain ones enjoy and succeed in life, sports or in acting or in, it's a selective few. And the majority stay back because you're black. What do I think about Black Lives Matter? It matters. It matters to a people whose ancestors, forefathers and mothers who built this country, the United States, the America, off of the sweat of their backs, the blood of their backs, and the free labor. So you can imagine growing up and deprived of so much for so long, and no dignity and no respect for the ones who built this country to the standard that it is, wherein the rich got richer and they were worthlessly poor and in poverty and didn't get any rewards from it throughout from that generation in the 1700s. The matter is being deprived. The matter is growing up in a household without a father, without someone in your life that made a difference. Okay, here I am, world. Now I am responsible for myself. How will I make it? How will I achieve? How will I succeed? What do I do next? And as I said, there's limitations. But I am a type of a person that can make a horrible situation turn it into something good. Because out of every bad, there is some good. Never ever think everything is all bad and all lost and there's nothing good to come out of it, because that is not true. Out of every bad, good in return will come out of it. It's like a bad. It is lack of understanding that causes a whole lot of grief. Lack of understanding that causes disrespect and the hatred and the segregation. I asked a question many years ago to a young boy that lived close to me one day. He used to call my children niggers, niggers, you niggers, you niggers, right? Out of love, I said, come here, young man, let me speak to you a minute. Take a look around you. And he began to look around. I said, what color is that flower over there? He said, it's red. I said, well, what color is that flower over there? He says, it's purple. So I says, okay, great. Okay. I said, now, let me ask you a question. And answer me, please, from your heart. Why wasn't all of the flowers white? I said, can you imagine this white, that This flower white, this white, this white, you're white, everything white. What type of world do you feel that you would enjoy to live in if everything was white? Would there be any excitement in life? No. Why? Because everything that is the same is plain. There's nothing to it that is enjoyable to get out of it because it is the same. He said, well, you do have a point, ma'am. And I said, do you know why that tree shape is different? And you know why this flower is different from this flower? For your enjoyment. The beauty from the difference is the enjoyment for you and for me. Variety to make things happy, exciting, colorful. Be happy for the difference in values in things. Be happy for the change. It gives you choice. It gives you an opportunity to choose. Well, I would prefer the purple over the red. How can you choose if there's one color? You need something to choose from to make life worthwhile. Simple. What I was saying was of great wisdom and knowledge and value to him, and I never, ever, ever heard him say those words to my children again. In fact, up to this day, he's like my son. And whenever he sees me, he stops and say, hey, Mom. And I'm like, hi, son. And it means something to me to know that I can love him and he can love me because he went beyond who he was taught to call me. What we need to do is to get back to simple basics, and that is love. Love. Love one another as I have loved you. Love. That can change the world. That can really change the mentality of the world. That's all. Simple love. And that's something that we all are born with to give one another. That is not something that you need to go and get a degree for. This is something that is inborn in us. But to let it nurture and grow is a whole different aspect. That's what I think. Not color, not race, not ethnic groups, whatever it is. You have an opportunity to enjoy or you have an opportunity to hate. It's all up to you. You can say, oh, I dislike that. I hate that. I don't want that. It's up to you. Or you can say, oh, I love that. It is beautiful. In its own way, it is beautiful. It may be ugly to you, but in its own way to me, I see the beauty. I love people of all ethnic culture and background. I don't have a problem in loving. If you have a problem in loving people, human beings, flesh and blood, hey, something is wrong. You'd better check yourself and find out. Maybe there's some inferiority in you. Maybe there's something going on in your life that make you feel you have to be superior over the next human being. I just want you to think. If everything was one color, where would be the joy? Where would be the happiness? Where would be the choice? Where would be the design in life? Life wouldn't even have a design. Everything would just be one way. One color. The designer of this universe knew that, thought of that, saw that, and did something about it. I think a lot about Black Lives Matter. And I also think a lot about my white sisters and brothers, my Indian sisters and brothers, my Chinese sisters and brothers, my Mexican, Spanish sisters and brothers, my Italian sisters and brothers. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And if you can't see the beauty in another person, and that's because there's no beauty in you. I hate to break it to you harshly, but you're lacking the beauty. The problem is within you. And we need to stop fighting. Stop killing. Stop hating. Look at all of the negative energy that has such a great power in this world. Have you ever asked yourself why? Why? Such a beautiful world. Check out the mountains. Check out the blue sea. Just check out all of the beauty that nature has around you to enjoy. And tell me, why in the world are you fighting? Why are you hating? Why are you killing? What is your problem? Why can't you live and let me live? Why can't I live and let you live? This equation is so simple. It's really simple. But the simple things in life, we just can't seem to grasp it. Only the hard, hateful, hardcore, negative part of life. We seem to grasp a hold to it. We hold on to it. And we just, constantly anger, fighting. Hey, let's just get over all that negativity. And let's start to love one another and respect one another. I'm here to say with my wonderful son-in-law, Sam, I love him.
We love you, Mom.
Love you, Grandma.
Thank you. Thank you for the love.
America is so divided on racial lines. It's really very unfortunate.
And incidentally, if I may add, it's pretty sad because America's the greatest country in the world, and you would expect more out of greatness. I feel good to know that you love me, I love you. This is what it's all about, love. And if we had more of that and less hate, then we can overcome racism. And as they get older, I just hope that they will live in a much better world than we did.
Well, we can only hope.
We have to keep hope. And love give us hope. Wouldn't you say?
Of course.
So to say to the world, to wrap it all up, it's a good feeling to love Sam. It's a wonderful feeling to love my grandchildren. And it's most of all, there isn't any blockage there. It's just pure love. So there we are. Love. Thumbs up for love.
What about the heart? Everybody know the heart?
Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video. And don't forget to comment down below.
Comment down below.
Comment down below.
Please give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.